Hello and welcome to round 2 of Driftmasters European Championship.
Tak máme akorát naloženo, je po dešti a budeme vyrážet. Krasavec už je naložený, snad je dobře připravený.
Yeah, let's go. The first with the curse, with the thirst that I wanna be better, not worse, man it hurts. I'm on this earth with my words and I put them all together, insert, cause I wanna have worth. Working hella hard till they put me in the dirt. Gonna go far, man, listen to my words. Gonna be a star, man, life's like a blur. When you're working this hard, yeah, you get what you deserve. Yeah, I ain't taking a backseat, I'm passing anybody else who is rapping. I'm nasty, ain't nobody able to catch me. They gasping, they cannot compare, they can't match me. I'm at half speed, I got your girl and she laughing and dancing, hanging on my butt, she asking to crack.
Mám domácí sváču, hostičku, slučičku, skoro jak od maminky. Na rozcvičce.
Hearing me laugh, all the crowds repping the sound, I'm hitting the ground.
Tady, počasí objednaný, je to super.
Ještě stihčí jenom trochu.
Já si že tam ještě jde po dole, to tam nebude. To jsou ty druhý, že jo? To jsou, nebo ne?
To není Driftmasters,
no právě. Tak dolů jsem viděl, že jedou. Tamhle, podívej, tamhle tudy.
Jo, to je přes ulici.
To je trať už tady. No. No a povrch pěkný.
Čekal jsem, až ten pán místo pro mě vytvoří. Chtěl jsem tam zacouvat, vše pro mě hovoří.
Tohle je dobrý, jak je ten jakoby tahač toho, víš?
Dobrá, zkuste tedy odejít. Vaše auto, až se navrátíte. Od 10 dní tu rýhu bude mít.
Když ten
odešel, od platy čas nadešel. Já jemu s korunou auto obešel. Číhal však za rohem, čekal, jak se zachová. Přešel by po střeše, z auta rojdomán. Náladu jsem přestal mít na fóry. Před očima se mi zatmělo. Vykop jsem mu oba reflektory. Pak už bylo dělo na dělo. A tak primář kliniky s profesorem matiky váleli se po zemi, žádné zabiky. Oba starší pánové, poté když je zabásli, po právu si přibližně stejně vyfásli.
Nebo tady to jde rozbalit. To bude asi taky už. Tam je další asi nějaký svůj.
If you went off the track, this is the crucial part. So here, and maybe here. There are lots of.
Ne. Čau. To škoda si najde nějaký pokoj. Ten bude můj.
Girl, you got me shook from the way your body looks. Got me riding hooks, got me feeling like a rook. I don't do it by the book, but for you I'll take a look. Don't know what your mama took, sweet and spicy like a cook, yeah. I'll keep it real, let's make a deal. Buy you a meal if you just let me feel. Get out your heels, grab on the wheel. Back to my place at the top of the hill. Don't have regrets, I know what's next. She need a fresh, I'll be back in a sec. Look at them legs, don't make me beg. Back to the room, let me show you my bed. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I could look at you all day, watch the way them hips sway. Love your body, so I pray, don't you dare take it away. Can't control what I say, lost my mind cause your frame. Hey girl, what's your name? Lit me up just like a flame. Body in motion, I feel the commotion. Be on you like lotion, I'm honest and broken. I flow like the ocean, I feel you were chosen to fix me, I'm broken. My heart that you stolen, hey. Stay with me, play with me, lay with me. Hate to see when you leave, chemistry feels like it's destiny. I just want you laying next to me, and I really don't want you to ever leave. On your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb.
zranil o plečku, zdali pak tě něco nebolí.
Ty neznáš text?
Tady se má služí přezouvat, jo?
Byl tam už chtěje do vody. Tak tam už aspoň vlíz ta vychcace, ne? Já tam teďka polezu za ním. Tak jsme konečně tady. Jdeme 20 minut. Z pevniny. 20 minut. To je strašný. Už tady byl měsíc? Byl tady měsíc, si kurva vytopená. Nebo si posuneš na ty věci. Ale on ten příliv už přichází.
Nejde ten pínek na konci.
No teď musíme tam skočit teďka. Jak je ten půlničko? Jak je ten příliv? Příliv? Na to nedá vliv měsíc. Vyložit, teď tady to bude! Ale počkej!
Zmrdí. Tyhle tady necháme. Koloběžky se mi do té díry. Koloběžky pomůžou tady vstavit.
Jdem na to. Jdeme si koupit chleb. Oui? Oui? Speak English? Chceš mluvit? Co je? Jeden chleba. Ein, zwei, drei. Co mám udělat?
Když by byl už prodaný, tak ten jeden taky se spadlej nahoře, víš? Když by byl už prodaný, tak ten jeden taky se spadlej nahoře, víš? Spadlej nahoře, víš? Počkej, jedna. Jasně. Jedna 50, potřebujeme aspoň dvakrát, tři fušníky. Ty malý drobný to úplně nebere, ale to nevadí. No to tam nasekej všechno a uvidíme, kolik nám to dá. No nám to vyhází to, co to nebere. Ale ne, bere to všechny, podívej.
Jo.
Tak to tam. Ují! Dobrý, 45. Tak,
50.
dávej, vole.
A na druhé nemáme peníze.
Zkusíme tam hodit nějakou českou, my to třeba ovlivneme. To bude jako euro, 10 korun. 10 korun zkusíme hodit. Zkuste to, fajně, to třeba, oni to jsou patří.
Nikdo jiný nemá eura.
Já tě ochčím.
Máš, jo?
Tajný zásoby. No, ježiš. Stačí 2 asi.
Jo.
Jedem do prdele. Máš to viděl.
Into gear.
He is one of the craziest drivers on the grid. I mean, I just enjoy watching practice because he never backs down. Even when the situation requires you to back down, he doesn't back down. Hit a barrel, went off the circuit at round 1, and Michal Reichert now firing through those first couple of zones. And I mean, the limiter on this car getting really abused as there's no mechanical sympathy whatsoever. The Czech Republic driver, 900 horsepower, dropping some wheels off the track, a little bit of wavering on the transition, and what looked like a strong start to the run fell apart a little bit in the middle. But it is a very difficult track, Ian. I mean, it looks easy when you watch it. I mean, obviously we think it's easy because we watch it.
It is easy for
from
us.
a spectator's point of view. But when you're in that car and you see some of those onboards, it is so fast out there to try and keep that car going at that kind of pace. And this is a very unnatural transition. As you can see, the car almost just straightened up and gripped up in the middle, and you had to reinitiate. And that is because of, you know, you're putting increased grip levels into the back of the car to push that car as far forward up the circuit. What you can't really notice is this is completely uphill. So you're drifting a very extended section at full throttle up a hill, and you know those cars are under pressure.
They certainly are under pressure, and as Michal Reichert there showed, just one little mistake could end your run.
No, najednou prostě přestal táhnout motor, zaprsklo to a konec. A tak doufám, že teďka to bude dobrý. A pak už to jelo zase v pohodě, tak já vůbec nechápu, co se kurva děje. A u té 4 klipáče návenek je to mokrý.
Michal Reichert from the Czech Republic sits on a 0 from his first run. He must score way above 50, I think 54, 55. 55 now to get himself into that top 32. How do you play it? I mean, it's such a fast electric track that you've got to go out there full commitment and hope that it sticks. So let's see what happens as Reichert comes through the gears. One of those drivers that definitely doesn't drive this car at anything less than 100% as he hammers on the throttle and the limiter as he comes through the center section. Full throttle transition, so unique here in France as he comes back up the hill and a big deceleration zone. A little wobble there, the judges will be watching for that. There's a little wobble of the car, not as fluid, and Owen jumps up over the curb, almost 2 wheels off the track from Michal Reichert. It's going to hurt his score right at the end. It's a worrying moment for Michal Reichert, a man who's almost qualified every run in the last year and a half or so. I think this is the biggest pressure he's been under. You can see hand on the head, straight on the radio. I think his spotter is going to be saying, I don't know, Michael, this is going to be very, very close. Not the best qualifying session from one of the most exciting drivers on the grid.
Yeah, for me, it kind of all went wrong on the initiation. You can see he gets a wheel up on the curb, and then he sacrifices out of zone 2. He just, you know, paints the edge of it, but doesn't get into it. And then there, it shallows up the angle as he gets into 3. Big wobble here. You can see him slow the car down on the handbrake. Big handbrake drag, and then that's where it goes wrong again. Pops the wheel up onto the inside of the circuit on the grass, gets it across the line. Judges, this is going to hurt his score. And like you mentioned, Dave, if he doesn't score above a 56, I do believe, looking back at the notes, he won't find himself in competition. And this is a guy that we've seen in top 32 competition for the last year.
We've seen him go right to the top 8 in Hockenheim last year, so it's a guy very capable of taking home a trophy this weekend that may not even be going to a battle, and that shows the level. But I think it more than the level which we always talk about this championship, it shows how difficult this track actually is.
Yeah, it is a very challenging track. Everyone said, oh, it's easy, it's fast and flowing, but it's not. It's technical. You've got to be very wide, and one wrong calculated move can end your run or end your weekend there, and we see a complete divide of clouds.
Yeah. It's a tale of 2 stages of weather there. Hopefully get the left-hand side on the right. Knows from the moment this green light goes, and you can see James Dean clutches quickly to get away, and look at Reichert, he's right with him, slamming through the gears, but James Dean pulling a little bit of a gap straight into that first corner. Reichert's going to have to start making a move here, Ian.
It certainly is, but Dean's wide on that first inner clip, now starts to put the foot down, as James Dean doesn't look like he's got all the grip in the world there. Wipers on, can we see some rain falling on the circuit as weather conditions changing? Dean now pulling a little bit of a gap. as he enters his way into that second clip point, but he's very wide, and then Reichert makes a dive, but it's a little bit too much too late as he goes very deep into the gravel, takes off the rear of his car, and across the line they go, and now very wet on circuit.
I was just about to point that out. He no smoke whatsoever out of that hairpin. We saw the world disappear every time a car went through there in qualifying. Now wipers on, absolutely no grip out there. You can see Dean goes in way wide. Now he manages to hold a little bit of smoke, and this is what starts to play on a driver's mind. How much grip is out there? So as they're driving through here, you can see James Dean, he's got plenty of smoke coming out of the back of the car. Now watch as they go up towards this hairpin. He locks up the wheels, but absolutely no smoke as he's locking them up. And as he goes back on throttle just about now, absolutely zero smoke from the rear end of the car. Meaning that we've got a fully wet section of the track and a fully dry section of the track, which of course, if the rain continues to trickle down like it is, will fully wet the whole track over time. But right now, these guys are really up against it. You heard Peter Vjainsek say on his guest interview that that is the most difficult conditions drifters can even go up against, because you cannot predict where the next bit of grip is going to come from.
No, exactly that. And just watching some in-car there, just a little bit numb. I was like just wondering what James was doing in the car, and just taking some time, and you can see him really cool, calm and collected, not really two-phased, but the wipers on and rain falling, so this is going to really change the game. All these guys, they've had some wet runs of this circuit, but look at that in the distance, the wind now picking up, Dave. That's going to blow those rain clouds in. The crowd is still, you know, still participating in this event.
Absolutely.
But I mean, look at the side glass, look, completely now.
Well, that tells the story. You can see in the car that James Dean is going to have to, you know, negotiate the rain here. You can see he is still nervous in that car, which I always find so incredible about a champion of multiple countries. Look at that, he's still a very nervous character behind the wheel, and that shows that anyone that's into drifting or motorsport or any sport, that even if you are one of the best in the world, it's still, you can't escape those nerves. Michal Reichert now will have to escape them as he comes through the gears, and look, no grip at all as they come out of the chicane. Reichert's going to have to come in here, almost getting wetter out by the second, and look, no smoke this time. Reichert does a good job though, and Dean actually washes a little bit wide there, but Reichert's right to the edge of the circuit, dropping wheels. Dean's trying to get back into this one, and the rain really throwing up some unpredictability here as Reichert pushes to the edge of the circuit. And look at this, transitions back. Dean not making much of a move here in the wet conditions. Maybe he feels he's got enough done on the first run, but Reichert doing a pretty good job in the lead here to get himself back into the fight. That one is a little closer than it might have looked on paper.
Yeah, so we wait for the replay of this one, and you know what, for me, Reichert, very nice lead there. Didn't really make any mistakes, nice initiation, gets into that first in the clipping zone, and then nice and wide. He does drop a wheel off the edge of the circuit, judges will be looking at that. Not too much proximity from Dean, but he does stay with him. He didn't lose ground, should we say. You know what, I think James just keeping his cool, keeping back the weather changing drastically now, and that went from a dry-ish first run to a completely wet second run.
You could just see that the weather has changed that battle throughout, you know, what, 3 minutes? 3 minutes we started with smoke and we ended with no smoke.
With no smoke.
And that's going, I mean, I think this is also going to dry very quickly. We're not seeing heavy amounts of rain on the track, so it will with the wind and the way the weather's been today. It's going to dry quickly too, but it's how much confidence can you have as a driver when you're on a track like that and you're not sure how much aggression to dial in, because you can make big errors. Surprisingly, Dean doesn't go for much of a killer instinct there. He doesn't go right to Reichert at any point on the track. Maybe feeling the Czech Republic driver might make it unforced error on his own due to the conditions. Maybe he played it too safe. However, he had got a fantastic lead run. Maybe it's enough to take the win over the two. Let's see what the judges say. Slide him left for James Dean, right for Michal Reichert. And there you have it. James Dean does move through to the top 16. And Michal Reichert once again has got to go back in as well.
Conditions are crazy.
Getting wetter during the lap.
Yeah, but I don't know what happened after initiation. I don't know what happened after initiation. If you'll be sleepy or not.
I know. And it was changing in the whole lap.
First lap was much grippy than the second one.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but good job.
Thank you very much. See you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, bye.
These thoughts keep me up at night, yeah. What am I doing? Did I do it right? Yeah. All these thoughts keep me up at night. yeah. I can't think straight, need the light. I need to breathe, get me up and out of the sheets, onto my feet. Another cup of coffee and me, that's what I need. My eyes puffy, I can't see, I'm too